Hello, world. This is Young Nazarene. Sorry for the wait. Today, I had experience in on my own accord to get up and go to church today, and then something I didn't do for over like 20 years. So it's kind of like difficult. So not necessarily, but yeah, you kind of understand if you only know this face. So basically, it's like this morning it was still Sunday. Uh, I experienced what I told you on the videos. Now that I see that, you click that something you was concerned about is really two things that you're trying to get don't want to happen. But how would you uh explain like how what was the next step to know anything is on? You really need the view like click on the videos, and then that's how you would know what's going on. Like shorts was only for a short little brief, thing. Like really, like all together, probably all those videos, maybe like probably almost an hour. Like if you click maybe a few of them and out of letting people know, like even like look at one, like all right now. Somebody that is Christian that all right, now look at this one's because, I mean, I might be busy, but the couch might be. So, if 300 people did it in one day, and then view the videos, and plus this video alone, basically this morning, this is Sunday, and I'm like, I go to the the church that's around my area, and I went to two. The first one I went into, they don't have an actual name. um and when I went in the building, it's like a maze, and I just only can hear, where the sound's coming from. So when I opened the door, only people was in there was like per Africans, and I took a seat, and a gentleman approached me, and he asked me, he said, "Who invited you?" And I said, "God," and he said, "What is your name?" I said, "Young Nazarene." He double looked at me, and turned around and walked away. And uh it sounded like the woman that was talking, letting people understand things. It sounded like she was singing until she was going actually was state that she took the actual Bible and started reading on it. I just immediately got up and left. And I went outside, I wept a little bit, I was kind of like, mourning of the situation. That's what I'm talking about. Like, even to that point alone, like the next very day after y'all viewed and what y'all don't want is only two situations without looking at the videos. Please view the videos, whereas though, everybody got to must see those, and how even to save, to get help or save yourselves from this situation that I let you know from by what I'm saying, and backing it up from scripture and videos. And now I'm just telling you that you would know that now that the church is closed, since you don't even know when it would until I came. So basically, um the second one I went into was in the local area where where I live. And there was a big multitude of different kinds of nations, of people. And first I heard the woman. As I went in, there was another woman just singing. And according to the scriptures, you can sing a song, a woman can sing a song. But further on, like delivering a sermon. And after the song, and then it was a guy that spoke, and was just giving right back to the woman. And she started reading out of scripture again. I got up and left. And the second time, I felt like dying, and I did not feel like, why is I did not want to do this no more myself. And I'm still wondering, like, you know, um, um, it's like, why would I hold the truth? And if I did, I would go to hell, stuff like that too, without the helping my brother and sister. And the only way to fix this and to let me know, like by your views, you gotta view the videos, and and comment so I can know how to answer you. And you have a some kind of questions. And I think only view only comment I had was on a Sunday about, the Bible's about to go into church, and I think my comment was, somebody commented, was like the Sabbath, but like, really, like, really, I'm just like, okay, well, if you couldn't keep the Sabbath, then you couldn't keep a lot of stuff anyway. And the reason that, I was spoke when I'm speaking about yesterday, it was that the first day I made this account of um the young Nazarene is because of these situations. And right back to back, I did that yesterday, and Sunday is today, and I experienced it, because they probably would never think that I would, go in there because they thought something else of me, or never think that I would walk in there and, stuff that I might said. So, I double tape thought, ahead of their thoughts. And I showed up right after they went in church and sat down and everything. And then when I actually still got in there, they was just still singing. So that was the perfect time to take a seat without anybody noticing who I was. And as again, both churches had women, open up the book and giving sermons, and immediately left. I could not stop the church because they could not understand what I said. I would say, and still will look at me like I'm crazy. And if I'm quote the scripture like you don't supposed to let a woman do it, and they would still like look at me like you don't know that. I wouldn't even wanna. Then they'd be like the devil in them, and yeah, and he listened there. It's like real kind of messed up. So now that and and I'm letting you know even today that people that would see me went in there actually, and witnessed or saw me, and just to see watch me. And so if they did, I didn't stay very long because it wasn't really very long, and I left. It was like back to back, and like how can they know back to back, and they didn't even like two different, that one is full blown like pure African, and like the other one is like different, like a very variety of different cultures there. So it's a blessing to share this, and if you experience this yourself, well, if let spread this YouTube channel and practice the things that I'm saying, and you will know the truth on your own as well. So I let you know that I would still do this on an account, that covenant sealed, that after all this is done with and y'all actually understand, and I see nobody is never going in the church anymore, then you always gonna have to rely on me only, and then you will still, find the truth. And how would that be? And even though Christ is gone, then how would you believe, the his disciples and apostles, is that even though like a future in past, scripture states like, the cutting of the hair, if you knew of a real Nazarene, and as that you see as you see that things like that can take place, and leadership as well, as though a woman can preach the gospel in a church. And if you're still seeing that, just that one thing, let alone is how can you be saved, or you think you're saved by grace, and even if you're saying you still be saved, and there's supposedly, if according to English translation, that you don't suppose to allow a woman to even quote a scripture. I can understand singing, but our actual scripture to to teach the congregation, that is going against the God and the religion itself. Then he told you not to do it. Goes back, and that's why we wear clothes. And so view these videos and shorts and comments, so I can be able to help you before my death. Okay. I love y'all. So